Okay. So, Andre Russell, thank you so much for joining us today. Hope you're well. I know you're happy to be out of this bubble as well, and it's just probably like feeling like back to normality again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot better than to be in a bubble. To actually, I don't have a problem walking around in a mask and, to protect my health and to protect myself
Yeah.
from others. And, but it's a lot better. You can go to the mall, you can go out and have a good dinner. And it's not so restrict like how the IPL was or the CPL. So I'm happy
Yeah.
to be out.
Well, I mean, how did it feel? How does it feel being in a bicycle bubble? I mean, we've never been in that position before, but for you, it was like from CPL then straight to the IPL. I mean, how much of a toll does it take on your mental side?
It takes a lot. You have to condition your mind for it. I was conditioned before I actually went to the CPL,
Yeah.
and to be in a room by yourself, you can't leave the room. Apart from going on the balcony, you can't do anything. They bring the food just and put just outside the door, and they would knock, so that's food. It's like kind of feel like a prison,
Wow.
like you're in a proper lockdown, and you go back in, you eat, and then that's it. So it was kind of like that, but we know the situation and the pandemic and everything, and I was happy to be out of my home as well to go and play cricket because that's my job. That's what we love to do. So
Obviously playing in the biggest tournament, in T20 around the world and, IPL. It's been fantastic, hasn't it? I mean, I know it's always pretty good every year, but this year it's been very competitive. Why do you think it's been so competitive in comparison to the previous years?
second game playing now. Well, this game will decide who goes to the final.
Yeah,
I think Delhi is gonna turn up for this game.
yeah.
Um, Sunrise have a good team as well, but I just think that their bowling is on the weaker side. And in a game like this where you're gonna depend on good bowlers, aggressive bowlers to really you know win your games. And I think that this team don't have this sort of aggressive bowling attack. They depend on getting the new ball to swing, and that's what Sunrise have been dominant with, throughout the season. They have David Warner, Johnny Bairstow, and Saha that have been scoring runs for them. Manish Pandey been
Yeah.
doing well, but the batting surround those guys, and I think Delhi have more match winners. I think they have season campaigners that you know you have Stoinis that can just come and play a blinder. You have Shika Dhawan that have scored 200s in the IPL so far,
Yeah.
and these guys are all in good nick. If you fail 2 games, 3 games in a row, it doesn't mean that you are struggling. It just mean that when you come good, that means that the whole team should be in a good state. And Ed Meyer still haven't had a great knock in the IPL. He's been facing 10 and 12 balls and those sort of things. So I think with the captain as well, been scoring some good runs. Delhi have more a compact team. They have 2 good fast bowlers,
Yeah.
and I just think that they are the favorites for the finals. I don't know who is gonna win the finals, but they're the favorites for this game going into the finals for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we've always known you as one of the most destructive, batters in the world, with your prowess and, the power that you tail. What's been quite nice to see as well is you bowling. And we've always known that you've always been, a fast bowler yourself. But this IPL, you really turned it on with your bowling. So how did you prepare yourself to make sure that this year round, that you were more involved with your bowling? And I know obviously injuries is part and parcel of bowling, and these things do happen. But, I mean, it was nice to see you bowling some good steam, good areas, and you really push the batsman. So how did you prepare yourself for all this then?
Um, I think all of this, I've been, mentally prepared. I've been mentally prepared for these battles, and I wish I could be used more, in the latter parts of the early part of the games. I just think that with me swinging the new ball and doing these things, I don't think that I'm happy with how I'm used in most leagues that I've played in.
Right.
Um, and sometimes I don't like to go and ask the captains for the ball
Yeah.
because I'm not supposed to do that. Like when I'm bowling in practice and I get a new ball, I make that new ball talk. And just like any other bowlers that will get the new ball to shape and stuff, but I find when I'm bowling 2 overs in the first six and two in the back end,
Yeah.
I always get more wicket, more result in my bowling. But, you know, when you have good bowlers in your team, you can't complain not getting the new ball. You just hope that they get the job done when they get the ball to bowl. So
Yeah.
um, I'm happy with playing whatever role to make the team happy.
You're definitely a team player, and I know how much you love being on the field and supporting the youngsters, and I think that's key. When you have players of your caliber there, you're obviously passing on your experience to the youngsters, and that's really key, and that's what IPL is all about, isn't it? It's about bringing in players like yourself who can pass on their experiences and wherever. We'll, we'll talk about KKR a little bit. KKR didn't have the worst of seasons, really, did they? I know they got a few results that went against them or whatever. I think that's part of cricket. What would you say? What went? What? Well, we certainly what went well. What didn't go as planned?
I think in IPL, and it goes for any team. I
Yeah,
just think KKR we get a decent start. When we lose the first two games, and we won the third one, then I think we won two more games after that. So we were on 6 points after 5 games, and I think that's not the best start, but that's a good start playing 40 games in a season.
yeah,
And I I told the coaches, like when we have like one-on-one talks and stuff, like I like to say these things like we need to try and make sure that when we play 10 games
yeah,
every season, we need to try and win at least 6 games
yeah,
from those 10 games. So we have 4 games that we can get 8 points from, but maybe you will only need 3.
okay,
So if we get 7 wins from 10 games, 14 points, we only need maybe 2 wins to seal the deal, or maybe 1 win to qualify. Because as you can see, we didn't qualify because of net run rate, and the difference was just 14 runs. So I think every run you save, it add up. Every wide you bowl, every extra,
yeah,
it means something in the cricket. And this is how we have to plan moving forward, because to be edged out of the IPL with 14 runs different, to RCB, I just don't think, we did bad. I just think that we need to make sure that next year we start off on the right foot
yeah,
and make sure that we do whatever it takes to keep going and build a momentum.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, I mean, someone obviously they can try and build a team around you there, being one of the most experienced players in the team. What kind of advice would you normally give to these youngsters? Say, for example, you're standing a bit off and they're about to bowl. What kind of advice would you normally give to these youngsters?
I don't normally give advice when they're about to bowl. Um, when they're walking back to their mark, I would
Yeah.
normally ask them what they're thinking,
Oh,
because it doesn't matter if a guy is 17, 18, 19, or 30.
okay.
You have to give him the confidence to bowl whatever delivery he want to bowl. So I would ask them what you're thinking. And if they're thinking a Yorker, and I think at that stage a Yorker is not it don't make sense, then I'll tell them, no, keep hitting the length hard. Because next thing, nobody is perfect. No one is perfect. And if you are bowling hard length well enough, and then suddenly you try to bowl a Yorker, you are putting yourself under pressure, because if you don't get the Yorker right and a guy hit the ball down the ground for 4, or you go hit for 6, then that's problem. So I just think what we all have to do is give the youngsters the confidence to bowl whatever they want to bowl, because bad balls get wickets all the time in T20. So
exactly.
And your best ball get hit for 6. Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely true. That it is difficult, isn't it? I mean, it is really about how you practice as well, isn't it? You know, if you guys know how to change it up whenever they want to, that's quite key as well. We see the way when you hit the ball, you make it look so effortless, and the way you clear these boundaries, and it doesn't seem like there's any ground in the world that's big enough for you. So, what kind of training are you doing then to make sure that you're at your peak physique every single time you're going into bat? So, I know you're not a big gym freak. I know you don't like going and picking up heavy weights and whatever. So what kind of training do you do then to keep this power that you've got?
I'm not a big gym guy. I'm more do natural, body weight stuff. I think once you use your body weight and to work out or to get stronger, then you will definitely get to understand the strength of your body. Because I find going to the gym and lifting up 100 pounds or 150, that's not helping the sport that I play. Yeah, you're getting stronger, but majority of this strength comes from within. So you're running into bowler ball, you jump and you load, everything have to come from within. And a lot of fast bowlers, a lot of cricketers, they think going to the gym and doing some big heavy stuff it makes sense. It makes sense, but you can't focus on doing that that alone. You have to do a lot of body work stuff like planks, a lot of abs, push-ups, pull-ups. Those are things that I feed on, like my breakfast and dinner. Those are things that I do. So once your core is strong, you can hit the ball and make better contact, because you have a strong core. You bowl fast, you use your core to throw, you use your core to bat, and to do everything in cricket. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, you're completely right there. And I remember when you came here for Zurich back in February, and you did an interview. And one of the most important things you mentioned was that you probably neglected certain body parts, thinking that it was okay to, you get away with it. And now, as you've moved on with your career, you've actually realised that neglecting those certain body parts is catching up on you. Obviously, you picked up a small knock there in one of the matches. How are you recovering from that?
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I played the last game. The last game this season, the IPL, and felt pretty good. I wasn't 100%, but I wasn't pushing myself, to actually feel any discomfort, because I know if we qualify, then we would basically go all the way, and I want to play all the remaining games, including the qualifiers, and if we should go to the final. So I was always just planning to feel in the circle, give myself, the best chance to go through that game. Obviously, perform with the bat, but I've been doing a little rehab stuff, stretches, spread a towel while I'm in my room, and just do some curls, do some stuff to strengthen the hamstring, because it's healing. And if it's healing by itself without you doing anything, then it's gonna leave scar tissue. So I try to make sure that I strengthen it while it's healing.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's really good to see that. I know a lot of people just kind of just want to rest it off, thinking it's just going to magically happen again. Usually, when we get an injury, just the body giving you a bit of a signal that hey, there's a little bit of weakness there. We just got to try and work on it, strengthen it. So it's fantastic to see that. It's probably $1 million question, really. But who do you think is the best bowler in the IPL, and why?
I think, no doubt, Bumrah is one of the best bowlers in IPL, or the best bowler right now in the IPL,
Yeah,
because he's a very clever bowler, and I just think he have done everything that they might discuss in team meetings, and that's the reason why he's so good.
yeah, for sure.
He have gotten 20 odd wickets now, and I think he's gonna be the one for the purple cap, because when you look at how he bowl to each batter, he
Yeah,
bowl with a plan. And in every meetings, we have bowling meetings. We plan how we're gonna go about bowling to this batter, in the first six, what we're gonna do in the back end. And he come and he execute it. Not saying that he don't get hit sometimes, but if you get hit bowling to a plan to a certain batter,
yeah,
then you're doing what you need to do.
yes, for
And
sure.
even when he's bowling to me, you can tell that they definitely discuss how they're gonna bowl to me. They're gonna stay close and they're gonna use the sharp ball. So I just think what I need to do as a player now, go back to the drawing board and know that these guys, they are actually planning and they are not just running up and bowling the ball. So as professionals, they are doing it. I'm gonna do it now. So it's gonna be a war. So you can expect some fire.
So does that mean when I'm working with you, I've got to wear a helmet?
Yeah. While throwing, you're gonna need a helmet, mate.
Really? Okay, okay. I might have to do that. I might just build a wall in front of me. How about that? It'd be easy, wouldn't
That's even safer.
it? Exactly right. And then what about batsmen? I mean, I know a lot of people prefer Kohli, but I mean, what would you say from your experience of playing in the IPL for so many years? Who do you think about the whole package?
AB de Villiers.
Oh, good choice. Good choice.
And
Why?
I think, all right, I'm gonna choose another guy. So AB de
Okay.
Villiers would be number one,
Yeah.
based on, his 360 and scoring in the death, and even if he come out to bat at number four
Yeah.
and 2 wicket fall in the first over, he can come and survive and build an innings, be aggressive as well after 4 or 5 deliveries.
Yeah.
I think Chris Gayle is the other guy, and
Yeah.
he have done it in years. And Chris Gayle is still showing everyone around the world that have been watching IPL that he's the universe boss. And I did want him to score that 100
Yeah.
against who did he get
Rajasthan.
out?
Mumbai.
Rajasthan. Yeah, when Jofra Archer get him out, like I was like, "Mm." I wanted him to score 100, because a guy at the age of 40, 41, still scoring 100 in IPL cricket. Like, you know, put some respect on his name. You have
Yeah.
KL Rahul, you know what I mean? Like Rahul, like that guy is so easy on the eye. You have Samson coming up. You have Surya. You know what I mean? Like you have a lot of young talent. Like Hardik is proper in the back end with Pollard and those guys, but like talent and a guy that can take you out in the back end, AB de Villiers, man. Like I worried every time I'm about to bowl to him, because you have to make sure that you get it right. If you don't get it right, he's gonna put you over the ropes.
Yeah, 100% right, mate. And you know what? Going back to Chris Gale, what you just mentioned, somebody who, like you said, his age, generally we would say, oh, someone's passed it a little bit, or somebody has to, did their reflexes slow down? And you think at the age of 40, you wanted to be a cricket professor for 20 years, and you would have thought bowlers would have figured him out now. But it's very rarely that you see him not succeed. And we talk about bowlers planning to someone like him. It's an exceptional talent, isn't he? That you can have bowlers bowling to him whatever they want, and willingly, doesn't matter which ground he's playing in, he'll put them away. So yeah, definitely. I know that you're quite close to him, and I know that he's been a mentor to you over the years as well. What kind of wisdom has he passed on to you then over the years?
I think whenever we talk about cricket, he's not really a talkative guy. He's more on the reserve side. But I think, whenever I talk to him about stuff, he always just keep it simple. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people or a lot of players, they don't understand.
Yeah.
Keep the game simple. Like a lot of players, they like to be fancy and they like to be creative and they always struggle. Guys want to give themselves room and do stuff and, for instance, just do some unnecessary stuff like walk across and look to help the ball over finally for 4 or 6. And when they do that to a proper length ball that you could actually hit for 6,
yeah,
or hit down the ground for the same 4, they take a risk. If it don't work, they get out and they would be thinking to themselves, damn, I could have hit that ball straight down the ground for 6. I can understand if a guy is bowling 6 Yorkers to you and you have no other option but to walk across and scoop, then it's fine. But he always tell me, keep it simple and to use heavier bats because I used to use like 2.8, 2.9 bats, and he used to tell me that those small bats not gonna hit the ball anywhere. So
makes sense. Yeah, well, I mean, so obviously individual level is a bit different. So what kind of weight bats are you using at the moment?
I use 212, 213.
It's pretty heavy, eh? I mean, considering that you've got to play against a guy who's bowling at 90 plus miles per hour to get them back down in time and to put your hands through the ball, it must be very, very tough. So, hats off if you can bat with a heavier bat and be able to back your skills and your ability to be able to clear the boundary. That's fantastic. When you choose a bat, what do you look for in a bat yourself generally?
Every batter is different.
Yes.
Like for me, some guys, if they have 2 old bats using and those old bats hitting good,
yeah,
and they get 3 new bats today,
yeah,
and they have a game tomorrow,
yeah,
and those new bats feel good and look good,
yeah.
they jump into the game and use it. I can't do that. I have to use a bat until I get confident in it.
Yeah.
A lot of time when guys fail, they fail because they have a bat that they don't trust.
Right.
And you can't expect a new bat to hit the ball the same distance that an old bat that you have been using for months. It's well knocked in and everything. Like the willow is softer and everything is nice. And you can't expect a brand new bat to do that same job. So a lot of times, what I look for in a bat is it has to have meat and it have to have a good balance. And if it doesn't, then I balance it out with grips. So you can put either another 1 or 2 more grips on your bat to make it balance.
Interesting. If you were to bat in an ideal position, what would be your favorite number to bat at?
Number 4.
Number 4. Well, our local team Zurich have got a side, So if you, we'll give you 5 overs, and we'll let you bat number 4. You fancy it?
Happy days.
Yeah, we were looking for a leader anyway, so it'll be brilliant for you. I'm going to go back a little bit here. Just talk a little bit about the challenges that you would have faced, to get to where you are today. What kind of challenges did you come across then? Which helped you get to where you are today?
Challenges that I face. I didn't have. All right, I'm gonna go back and to when I was younger, coming up. I didn't have cricket gears. I used to have a sneakers that I would use if I'm going out. I would
Yeah.
use that same sneakers to wear go out, and then that same sneakers I would use it to play cricket, like school cricket in.
Wow.
Um, yeah, it was rough. Um, I didn't have bats, I didn't have gloves, I didn't have no form of gear for myself. I would have a bag on my back
Yeah.
with my sneakers in it,
Yeah.
my playing gear, my socks, maybe a hat, and that's it.
Wow.
I didn't,
Amazing.
yeah, I didn't have a mom or a dad to cheer me on, to say, "Come on, son, drop me at cricket, pick me up from cricket." I didn't have none of that. So, not saying that I didn't get the support from them, I did, but from a distance. And I'm happy for all of that, because a lot of times it can be good and it can be bad for us. Because if you are too sheltered and your mom is always there cheering you on, your dad is always there cussing the coach when the coach is not playing you, you are not earning the game like how you should earn it. So if the coach is always picking you because your dad have money, or your dad is giving the coach money, or, oh, play my son, you won't experience the success that you're gonna, if you get what I'm saying. So
100%. 100%. I'm
I
a coach.
think,
Face that all the
yeah,
time.
yeah, I know you're a coach, so you must experience, from all different types. And you have some guys that I grew up with when I was playing under 19 for Jamaica. Like, I didn't have no mom and dad to come and look for me while I'm at camp, to drive, come pick me up, drop me off, all them things. I used to have to take the bus. And when I take the bus and I get to my destination, I take out my kit bag, do everything that I need to do, go to the go to practice. I wasn't looking in the stands for anyone, because I know no one that I know is there supporting. So it makes me tougher as a player. It makes me more hungry to be successful, and to see these guys have everything, and I achieve more than all of them. I feel good in myself, but I feel sorry for those guys, because they actually get everything that they needed.
Mm,
You know what I mean? And to know that you are sitting beside a youngster, same age, he's not talented more than you, and you are not more talented than him.
yes.
You guys have the same ideas, same skill, want the same thing, but I don't have a gear bag. I only have a knapsack bag, and that guy would have a kit bag this big with three bats, three gloves, pads, helmet, everything. And
Get the 5 pairs of gloves as well.
yeah, and I would be looking at him like, when it's my turn to bat, could I use one of your bats? And on many occasions, guys said, no, you can't use my bat. Or some guys would be kind enough to say, yeah, yeah, you can use this one. So I grew up tough,
Yeah.
and it makes me so proud to know that I come out the struggle,
Yeah.
and I achieve what I've achieved. So I think any kid out there can achieve what I've achieved and more.
Completely agree with you, Dre.
It
I'm lucky enough to know someone like you for the last few years. I've been able to spend some quality time with you. And one thing which really inspires me about you is how you're very humble. And I know that, like you says, quite clearly it's from your upbringing, isn't it? So obviously, your mum and dad did a fantastic job to bring you up like that, and to make you work hard. And that's why today you can be left alone. And you'll just get on with it. You don't need those big crowds around you. Just you're mentally very strong, and that's amazing. So, what motivates you then, Dre, to get up every morning, to put in those hours in your fitness, your training, and everything? What's your main motivation for all this?
uh, main motivation is my family, to be honest, and I'm just hungry for success and to be great.
Yeah,
Um, I don't just want to be a player who play for West Indies, play for Jamaica, came here to IPL for a few years and do okay. Like I'm already doing good for myself. Like I'm not the best in the world, but I was the number one T20 player 2018, and I mean 2019, sorry.
yeah, you were. Come
And
on, we all know that 2019 Wisden T20 Player of the Year.
and when I got that award and everyone was like, oh my God, Andre, you're the best T20 player. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, so you're not excited? You're so I'm like yeah, there's nothing to be excited about. It
Yeah,
means that the work just start, because if I was like, I wasn't the number one T20 player and I did well and get that status,
100%.
everything, every league, every time I go to bat, every time I go on the field to bowl or to do anything, that title sticks with me until someone else should have that title. So it means you have to keep doing whatever it takes, because everyone is looking at you, the number one T20 player. They expect magic from you every single game. And people don't understand that when you do good so often, they put a lot of confidence and trust in you. And if you are laid back with it and say that, oh, I did well in 5 games, so if I fail in 4, it's fine.
Yeah,
No, it's not fine. Because a lot of people that, even on this group chat that we're having right now,
yeah,
always expect the best from me when I go to bat. And I always expect to give them a show every time I go to bat, but it don't happen. It's
yeah.
the ball is round.
Not
So
after you hit it, mate. It's no longer round. It's more squared off.
it's squared. Yeah, it's not the easiest, man. Like, trying to, even this year I struggled. And you know, I was having a chat with a couple guys back home that play cricket,
Yeah,
and they said to me that, Russ, it's fine. This goes to show that you're a human being. And human being, we make mistakes. We are not perfect. We make errors. And maybe a few of those errors are, you know, you played this shot when you should have played that shot. And it just not, it wasn't a season that was made for you. So I think what you have to do right now, pick
yeah.
yourself up and deliver the next time. So that's my mindset. And I thank all those guys who believe in me and those fans, because you have people that was saying stuff on my social media. Oh, you're the worst. You're no good. And I'm like, what? People quickly forget about the successful times that you have when they look for you to do well. So it's not the easiest pressure when you are the number one T20 player. You're not supposed to feel.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you set yourself such a high standard, and you've set a new trend for yourself. So sometimes it's like, you kind of set yourself such a high standard. You think, oh God, now I got to keep that momentum going. But like you said, quite rightly, you're a human being at the end of the day, and we're all prone to making errors, and it's fine. What's it? I mean, for the first time for us, I mean, there's a company, Zurich, and we've obviously been involved with you, and we love having you as our ambassador. How's it been like working with
It's
them
been
this year?
amazing. Just want to say thanks again to Zurich for making this possible. I know I didn't really, hit a lot of big ones, and actually, I was planning like a special celebration, like when I get to 50 and stuff like
Yeah.
that, what I would do when I raise my bat.
Oh, never mind.
Like, you know, I would raise my bat and point on the Zurich sign. Yeah, something like that. But it didn't happen, and I just hope that we can keep working together, and you know, I can keep lifting the brand as well. Like, it's a big company. It doesn't really, need much promotion, but I'm happy to be a part of Zurich, and I think it's an amazing family, and can't wait to meet the guys.
Yeah, well, so it's been amazing having you on board, and obviously there's the cricket aspect of it, but getting to know you a lot more, and getting to see you, it's been amazing. So guys, you can probably see my hand here. These are the special bats that Andre had, got signed for us. And you can see there his original signature as well. And we know what we've been doing a lot of giveaways for the last few weeks while the IPLs have been happening, and do you know what? We want to continue doing that. So hopefully, at the end of this call, we're going to get Andre to pick a couple of winners for us, and hopefully we'll be sending you some of his merchandise back. I mean, some absolute beauties. You can see that. I can imagine this is going to, I mean, we've already been giving out, get some really amazing feedback as well. I don't know whether you'll be hit bigger sixes than Andre, but I think I did last time as well. But no one believes me. Okay, it might have been on my Xbox, or, but it doesn't make a difference. Okay, so. Right, Andre, I know we're going to be rushed for time. I know you're a busy man. You're a man in demand. You've got interviews lined up. You've got to go and do this and that. So I'm going to just probably spend the next 5-10 minutes with you. I want to kind of like get guys asking me get some questions asked.
I don't mind them, once they speak good English, I don't mind they asking me the question like face to face. If you don't mind, I don't know what's the protocol here, but
sir, if you don't mind.
I'm happy. There you go, Andre. You've opened the can of worms here, mate. That's it. They're all going to be jumping in now, and I'm who's going to say who now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute
everybody. One question, can I
ask? Yeah, 1 minute. I'm just trying to control. Andre, I got to get you for this, bro. I've muted everybody just so that way we've got a little bit more control, because that's why I knew as soon as you said that, mate.
Oh my God!
Hundreds of people online here. And every single person just bombarded on my screen was just going all over the place. I started getting dizzy, mate, looking at that. So, guys, like I said, if you ask me questions below, because Andre said he wants to speak, question for Andre.
Okay, so Mr. Andre Russell, what's your mindset while going into game? You face big bowlers like Bumrah, you face and Mitchell Starc. How do you plan? What do you plan for while facing them?
Good question. I think those guys are good bowlers, but they still can go for runs. It all depends on the situation of the game. If they come on to bowl to me and there's a lot of overs to go, I'd look to bat through and take it deep. But if it's a situation where I have to go like the last 2-3 overs, then I'll look to take them down. But those guys are very experienced bowlers.
Whatever reason.
Okay.
Yes, bro.
They are asking questions below, so just ask me about those questions.
One is from Nandana, asking, how was IPL behind the closed doors, especially with no crowd?
It was a bit different, weird, hitting a six, getting a wicket. You have no crowd to jump and celebrate, but I hope things change real quickly. I hope maybe by next year, who knows? You know, you're gonna have some crowds, but I doubt it. Maybe 2022, that's when we will start expecting to get back some crowds. But it's been different, you know, not a lot of vibes where you'd expect to get from the crowd and everyone, but the game still played and the atmosphere was similar.
And how did it feel with the fake noise? I just can't imagine
It's annoying, man.
it.
Even for a single, they just they turn it on. Like,
I've got another question here. Did you for Mac D'Souza, did you ever regret playing any shot or bowling in a particular as you planned it, but it didn't go to plan?
what a question. A lot of regrets. Whenever a bowler bowl a ball and it goes for a boundary,
Yeah.
you're gonna regret that delivery. And even if that was the option,
Yeah.
you're gonna regret it. You're gonna think maybe I should do this or I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Or you're batting and you wanna hit the ball straight and you're
Yeah.
ending up splicing it. You're gonna say to yourself, maybe I should have gone over cover or square or whatever.
Side Safta is asking how many grips you have on your bat. 3.
3 grip.
Okay. 3 grips. What are you doing? We've got a tree in your hand, have you? Someone's asking the question here from Rishabh Jain. He's asking you the question that do you regret not playing more test matches for the West Indies?
Nah, I don't regret it
Really?
because my knees can't keep up with test cricket.
Which is the most difficult spinner that you've had to, is the most difficult spinner to play or to put away?
I don't really find any spinner difficult right now because T20 is, you know, is you against the ball. And a spinner bowl their best ball and you hit it for 6 or a 4. And these wickets don't really support spinners that much anymore. Like, unless the wickets deteriorate and then it starts spinning, then you have to give them respect. But Rashid Khan is a very dangerous bowler when the wicket is spinning. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to ask you a question. Who stole your shoes, mate? Why have you got one pink and one orange and one blue pair of shoes on? What's going on there?
I'm just being different, bro. Like I see everyone wearing the same shoes, same color. I talk to Puma and I tell them that, hey, I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna make it excited. I'm just, I'm from the Caribbean. We have different flavors. We have different styles. So I'm gonna keep this orange and blue.
Yeah.
And give it a vibes. Yeah.
And what size feet are you? US, UK size?
UK 11.
Yes. Oh, yeah, brilliant. Okay, that's fine. Okay.
What do you mean, yes?
What? I didn't say anything, mate. If your shoes go missing, don't start blaming me, yeah? How do you get out of a bad phase? This is a question from Aidan. So once you're in a little rut, again, it could be batting, it could be bowling, it could be through an injury. How do you try to get yourself out of that
phase?
Yeah.
Normally, I don't really go through a lot of bad phase.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you.
If I struggle for like 2 games,
yeah,
I would normally come back strong the following game. And based on the number that I batted, like, I'm not an opener where every game I have the chance to face 20 overs.
Yeah.
So most games, even when I fail, I don't think that I fail because I come out to bat maybe when a couple overs to go, and what you're gonna do with 4 overs to go? You're gonna look to give yourself a few balls, then swing to the events. So I think when you're struggling as a batter, nothing is wrong with taking a little break away from batting. It doesn't mean that you have to go in the nets and bat 200 balls every day. That just means that your head is a problem. It's not like you can't bat. So if you just take a break from the game, guarantee you, sometime, you will just come out and that's your day.
Mujahid is asking a question that when you're batting at the end of the innings, you've got guys who are not recognised batters, and you're chasing. How would you back yourself to continue to play your aggressive way, or would you calculate it and take the calculated risk? What would you normally do in that situation?
If how many overs to go?
I guess if you're batting at the death, probably like 4 overs to go. You probably need a target of like 40 or 50 runs. I guess you're probably batting with number 9, 10, 11.
Okay, so if, for instance, I'm batting and say 4 or 5 overs to go.
Yeah.
If, for instance, we're playing against Delhi and you have Rabada and Nokia. Rabada have 2 overs, Nokia have 1, and an over will be bowled by Stoinis, for example.
Yeah.
I would look to take down maybe target Rabada, his last over.
Really?
And Nokia over and Stoinis. But his first over, I wouldn't look to target it. Because at the end of the day, if you get out and you know that 3 overs still to go, you can't bat from inside. So I look to calculate those things, and instead of thinking about 24 balls to go, I just look to get 4 sixes or 5 sixes from that 24 balls. So I get 30 runs in boundaries. The other balls to go, if you get singles from them, you score close to 50 runs.
What happens if I'm bowling, mate?
Then I'll look to get 70.
I just put myself in that, didn't I? I can't believe I asked you that question. Of course I'm winning. What do you eat before a match? Asks Tassim.
Normal food.
What's normal for you might not be normal for somebody else. All right, Hulk.
Whatever that's prepared for the players in the change room, like Indian food, normal stuff. Like that's what I would eat. I don't eat nothing special like spinach, like Popeye. No, I don't.
Really?
Nah.
That's true. Indian food. That's interesting. What's your favorite Indian food?
Love butter naan and butter chicken.
Butter chicken.
Yeah, chicken tikka.
Chicken tikka. Mate, have you tried my cooking?
Can you cook?
Mate, I make a mean beans on toast, bro. It's mean. It's like proper delicious, bro. I get the toast, man. I slice the bread. I toast it. I get a canned beans out. I warm it up, bro. Add a bit of salt and pepper on it. Lovely. Would you rather bowl 145 clicks or hit 100 meter 6? Which would satisfy you the most? Asks Manas.
100 meter 6.
Against who?
Well, against you, I'll be bragging every day when I see you.
Everyone's laughing. What is going on here? No, guys, this is the other way around. You're supposed to be on my side. I don't know what's wrong with people, man. No more loyalty left here, bro. Right, don't worry. I've got a set of points that's going to come down with. We're going to start bowling to you. Don't worry, eh? And just remember the challenge that we had last time, right? We both missed the target. All right? Did we not?
Yeah, you didn't hit You didn't hit it.
Yeah, I didn't hit it.
I didn't hit it either.
I wasn't even close, right? But still, right? You didn't hit it, so I can still get away with it. Mine might be 5 wides or whatever, but it doesn't matter, right? Big up the Caribbean from Anil Mirage. What advice do you have for youngsters who idolize you and they want to become like you?
What I would say to all these youngsters, like, just believe in your ability, believe in yourself. Try to be better every day. Whether you go to practice, try to practice with a purpose. Don't just go to practice and just hit balls and bowl and whatever. Try to have a target. Try to put yourself in a situation where it's like a game situation, even if it's practice. Nothing is wrong with telling your teammate 6 balls to get 15 runs, and you put yourself under that pressure. I think that's a good way to practice. Batting wise and everything, just keep it simple. Nothing is wrong with getting stronger. If you don't have access to the gym, make sure that every time you do a lot of push-ups, sit-ups and whatever access you have. A lot of running, fitness is key. So with everything, every sport you do, fitness is key. So that's what I would say to them.
Right, I'm going to ask you one more question, Dre, because I know you're busy and I don't want to be taking the time. You've been a fantastic guest so far. So we just want to finish off with one more question. Let's have a look here. Just so happy to have you on board here. Let me just think of one more question. I'll quickly run through these questions. What is the way to play balls that are swinging or turning for spinners? What they're trying to ask you is, would you play it with the swing or against the swing? Would you play later? Would you play earlier? Would you come down the track to negate the swing? Would you go deep in your crease to give yourself more time?
This is a good question, but I think it's the wrong person, really, because I don't bat I don't bat new ball. Whenever I bat the ball reverse, and reverse swing is a bit different compared to when a brand new ball is swinging around. It nips off the seam, seam off the wicket. It's swinging the air. It's difficult. But I would say if a guy is bowling full and swinging the ball, you can bat outside your crease to cut the swing. And also you can play the ball a bit later. So the later you play, the more time you will give yourself to watch the ball. So that would be my tip.
Thank you so much, Dre. Honestly, it's been an absolute honor to have you here, and it's so good to hear and pick your mind. I really appreciate the hundreds of people that have come along today and just to ask the questions and get this exposure. Zurich, again, thank you so much for putting this together. I know it was a last minute thing, and you know what, it was amazing for you guys to do that. So, Dre, you probably want to finish off. You want to say a couple of words, and then we'll call it a day.
Just want to say thanks again to yourself and Zurich for making this possible. I don't have a problem doing this anytime, like talking to my fans, being involved and doing these things. It's always fun. And thanks for the questions again, guys. Think you all been a great sport. Keep wishing me well and keep supporting the game of cricket. Whenever you play it, just play to the best of your ability, even if it's for fun. Be competitive. So that's me.
Thank you so much, Dre. I look forward to seeing you soon again, spend a bit of time with you. Let's just try and work on getting out there and smashing the ball even further. We look forward to seeing that. You're greatest entertainer for us. Thank you so much for your time.
One more thing, guys. If any one of you guys should ever bat to this guy, Muslim, just smash him, okay?
Mate, they can't even hit it off the 30-yard circle, all right? I'll challenge you, mate. Yeah? You got to try and get 40 runs in 6 balls. Let's see how you do that.
How many runs?
40 runs, mate.
In what? 15 balls?
New balls, please. Well, I was actually suggesting 6 balls, but yeah, well, I look forward to. I think what we'll do is we'll have a session in a couple of days anyway. Me and Dre will be having one, and we might just put up a video of that as well, because seeing is believing, isn't it, Dre?
Yep.
Thank you so much, bro. Always lovely to have you, man. I'll catch up with you soon, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate the questions. And, it's been amazing to have you on board, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a blessed day. I want you to stay safe during these